Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. In C, today we are going to write a program to read array elements from the user, and we're going to use the for loop to implement it. So we're going to begin in our main function. We are going to declare our first variable called size that will read the size of the array from the user. Let us use comments this time around. So we're going to prompt user for the size of the array. So let us prompt the user for the size of the array, and it's going to be printf f enter the number of elements in the array. Enter the number of elements in the array. So this will prompt the user to enter the number of elements in the array, and we're going to read scanf. We're going to read the elements into this percentage d. The number of elements has to be an integer percentage d, and we're going to read it into this variable, and the address is size. So when the user enters the number of elements in the array, it's going to get this variable called size. The next thing is we're going to declare now our array int numbers. So we're declaring our array, the array is called numbers, and the size of the array is the size the user is going to enter. So just put the comment here. Here we have declare array. Perfect. We have declared array here. The next, let us prompt the user to enter the number of the array elements. So we're going to prompt user prompt user to enter the element of the array. So let us tell the user to enter each element that is inside the array. So we're going to use the printf statement, printf function. Say enter percentage d element, where we're going to have it on a new line, and then here we're going to do the size. So if the user enters 5 as a size, it's going to say enter 5 elements. Now we use the for loop to get those elements. We'll use the for loop and we'll initialize. We'll declare variable called int. We declare variable I and we'll initialize it to 0. That's the initialization. And then we'll now put the condition when I is less than the size. When I is less than the size, let us do I plus plus. That's the increment. And let me format the work. Let it look good. Perfect. So this is the initialization, this is the condition, and this is the increment. Notice that the index is going to begin from index 0. So if there are 5 elements in the array, it's going to be from index 0 to index 4. You see, right? Where index 4 will be the index of the 5th element. That's why we now say when so this is the index, the first index is index 0, and the last index is when I is less than the size. So if the user enters 5, 4 is less than 5, so it's going to end at 4, and this increment is going to be 0 plus 1, which is 1, 1 plus 1, which is 2. So this 1 is going to be incrementing the index, so it's going to keep the first element in index 0, the second element in index 1, the third element in index 2, and so on and so on. So let us now make it to be more clear to the user by saying printf element percentage d is, so we say I plus 1. I'll explain to you what this means. We're going to tell the user element 1. You see, so it will be 0 plus 1. I is initially 0, so the first iteration will be 0 plus 1, which is 1. So you say element 1 is now, let us now put the element scanf percentage d ampersand numbers, and then we're going to put it into I. What it basically does is that you're going to say element 1, the first case 0 plus 1 is 1, element 1 is, so it's going to keep element 1 into this array position, you see. So, and it's going to come back again and it's going to say I plus plus. So now I now be equals to 1. So it's going to say element 2, that is 1, I now, which is 1 plus 1 is 2. And it's going to now read the element now into the array at position 2. And it's going to keep reading those elements and keep it into the array till when is going to reach the last index, which is index 4. This is what this actually, that's what this statement, this group of statements here actually do. Upon we've read our elements now, let's put the comment here. It's proper for us to display the elements. Let's display the elements entered by the user. Printf, you enter the following element. You enter the following elements on the new line. You enter the following elements. So let us now display the elements that the user has entered into those arrays out. So this is how to display elements in an array that were entered by the user. So I'm going to use the for loop again. So the for loop is used to get in elements into an array from the user, and the for loop is also used to display elements in an array. So we're going to use this int that we declare right there for int I when I equals to 0. So it will go to index 0, and then when I is less than the size, and we have I plus plus. So what this one basically does is that it goes into, it reads the array from index 0 to index 4, you see, and it's incrementing. So after index 0, index 1, index 2, index 0 to index 4, because this is the increment. And then we're just going to come here now inside, and we'll say printf percentage d, let's give a space after this, to give a space after each element, percentage d number. So we're displaying all the numbers that were inside this array with the index that were in each index. I think I've closed all the brackets. No, the bracket was not closed. Yes, it's closed now. And so this is the program. Let us build and run. Printf numbers. The array was called numbers, not number. So it all begins here. Enter the number of elements in the array. It says enter the number of elements in the array, and I'm going to read it into this variable called size. If I enter 6, you see, now the next step is that it's going to say enter 6 elements. You see, right? This is where we are. So where the size of the array will be, the size of the array will now be kept inside this array called numbers. So it tells us to enter 6 elements. We are in this step now. Inside the for loop now, it says printf element percentage d, that is 0 plus 1. So it says element 1. If I enter 23, element 1 is 23, it now says now it will be 1 plus 1, which is 2. Element 2 is, if I enter 33, the next element 4, which is will be 2 plus 1, element 3, 2 plus 1, 3. If I enter 77, element 4, if I enter 44, element 5, if I enter 89. So if I enter element 1, 2, 3, we have to enter 6 elements, so the last one will be 27. Let's put 27 there and see how it works. So it now tells us you enter the following elements. So it has come here. Here, it will come here now, and then it will tell us you enter the following element. So after I've read all of the elements into the array now, it's time for us to display it. So we display it here. We display it using this group of statements, and this is the output here. So the elements we entered were 23, 33, 77, 44, 89, and 27. So our elements have been displayed here. So this is a simple program to read integers from the user and display them. If you want these elements to be on a new line, each number should be on a new line, we can just come here, modify our program by putting printf, with \n. That's also, this would permit us to read it, to print each element on a new line. So in this case, let us enter 4 elements. Element 1, let us enter 977, enter 44, enter 57, and the last element, let's enter 80. You see, so it has, you enter the full element, so it is now print all of our elements now on a new line. Okay, that is that for this lesson. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you in the next lesson.